Welcome back to the Malt YouTube channel, Homebrewers. In this video, we are looking at a new gadget that we've got in here from our good friends at Kegland, the BevPump. Okay, so the BevPump is a 12-volt diaphragm pump that allows us to move beverages or liquids around with absolute ease in a completely closed way, and also has a 10 psi auto cutoff, meaning that it can be used in a variety of different circumstances when we want flow to start and stop based on something external to the pump, not just the switch on it. Now, we think there's a number of different ways that this can come in really handy in your home brewery or indeed in your dispense setup. But in this video, we're going to focus on three key areas that we think the BevPump really can shine on. Number one, serving still beverages through your kegerator. Number two, cleaning your kegerator's taps. And number three, transferring work from a fermenter into a keg in a way that really limits oxygen pickup. Now, before we take a look into some of the real world examples where we think the BevPump can be really handy, a couple of little features about it. Now, first off, like I said, it's 12 volt. It comes supplied with a UK power adapter. It's got an on-off switch so that you can easily turn it on and off in certain circumstances when you need to manually control the flow. It's got these little mounting brackets with rubberized bushes on as well, so that when the pump's running, it limits like rattling or any noise depending on where you've got it mounted. It can be mounted inside a kegerator or outside a kegerator. And then it's got these handy 3/8 duo type push fit adapters so that you can hook up beer line, but they're really easy to take off for cleaning and for servicing. Now, one other really cool feature about it is that it's self-priming. So once you start the flow, it will take a couple of moments just to get going, but then once it's there, it is completely self-primed and there's no need to kind of flush the lines or draw liquid through the lines before you get going moving anything around with the BevPump. Now, let's start by looking at the first thing that I mentioned, which is using this as a way to serve uncarbonated still drinks through your kegerator. Do you know what, actually, let's scrap that. Let's jump to number two and then we'll go back to number one, because I've just opened the kegerator that we've got here at Malt HQ, and it's high time that the lines needed cleaning before we do anything else. So I want to show you how you can use BevPump to actually clean all the lines in kind of a daisy chain method and get your kegerator ready to serve whatever it may be that you want to put through it. Okay, so as I said, the kegerator here, the lines definitely need cleaning before we can do anything else. So to do that with the BevPump, we're going to need a few little bits and pieces of kind of accessories to hook things up. Now, dependent on your setup with your kegerator, you could daisy chain this together with all of your taps if you wanted. We're going to be cleaning the first 3 taps on our kegerator here. And to do that, the first thing we need is a little loop line between the nozzle on the first 2 taps. And the way we've achieved that is just using the little push-in growler fillers actually for the Nuka taps here, and then a little length of PVC line that fits perfectly onto the barbs there. That creates a loop between these 2 taps. Now, what we also need to do is then create loops inside the kegerator, and the way we're going to do that is by using these very handy little double kind of ended ball lock connectors that Kegland do. Now, these are perfect for just getting 2 lines together if you need to do some cleaning, some transferring, whatever it may be. Just a really handy little thing to have around the brewery. So we've got a couple of those, and then what we can do is dive into the kegerator and connect them up together, which I'll show you in a moment. We've also got just a couple of black beer disconnects, the duo-type ones from Kegland as well, just because we're going to need these to hook up various bits and pieces throughout kind of the experiments we're doing today. And then obviously we're going to need a bit of beer line, so we've got a nice long length here that we might need to cut to size. Just got our line cutters so that we can chop that down as and when we need to. I've also mixed up 10 litres of purple line cleaner to the correct dilution rate as directed on the bottle. Always important that you check that. And then the last thing that we do need is just a jug to collect the cleaning fluid as it's flowing through our daisy chain system. So let's take a look inside the kegerator and how we're going to connect things up down there so that we can then hook up the BevPump and start flowing some cleaner through these lines. Right, so this bit's super simple. We just need to use our little double-ended joiners that we talked about a minute ago. So let's grab the lines we want. Always important that we make sure that they're labelled so we know which ones we're going to be using. Line number 1, we're going to pop one of the adapters in. And the reason we're putting one into line number 1 is because that's the one we're going to be connecting the BevPump to. So we need a coupler on there. And then line number 2 and 3, we're going to daisy chain together using another adapter. So what we've effectively done there is created a loop all the way from the first taps in point, which is inside the kegerator, to the third tap's out point up there at the tap itself, which means we'll be able to pump line cleaner all the way through that loop and clean all the taps at the same time. Now, hooking up the BevPump itself is really easy. It's got a direction of flow on there, so we know that liquid needs to come in this side and out this way. So we're going to start by doing our beer line, which we're going to connect to the tap itself. So that's the one that's coming out. We can then put a disconnect straight onto the other end there, making sure it's fully home. Grab that first line with the adapter already in place and hook them together. Next, what we need to do, get another bit of beer line and push that into the inlet side on the BevPump. Now this can go straight into our bucket full of cleaner, and this is what we can then use to start the flow throughout the system. So now we're all hooked up. We've got our beer line that's going to flow into the BevPump, submersed into the bucket of purple line cleaner, and then all of the other connections hooked up. Now, the thing I love about this method is that there are other ways to do this. You know, you can fill a keg with line cleaner and use CO2 to push it through, but this method, using the BevPump, means that you don't need to use any CO2, which, you know, could be a bit wasteful. So that's why I really like this. And if you've already got one of these for some of the other activities that we're going to talk about a bit later, it makes perfect sense to clean your lines this way, daisy chain them together in the method that I'm showing you, and clean them in one go. Now, what's important is that we open up the taps and the flow controls on the first two taps that we're going to be using. Just open the flow control on the third, but keep that one shut for now. So I'm going to turn on the BevPump, and it has started to draw line cleaner in, but it can't draw any more through at this point because the tap's closed. So if I open up the tap, we can then see line cleaner going all the way through. The pump's just priming, getting itself filled, and we can see line cleaner coming all the way through the system and now flowing through into the third tap. Now, the really handy thing I love about purple line cleaner is that it changes colour to indicate whether it's clean or not. So we can see that it's green in the jug at the moment, which indicates that it's dirty, and we can see we've got purple flowing through. So if I now turn that off, what happens now is that the BevPump detects that we've shut the tap, and it shuts off. So it's not flowing at this point, but the power's still on. When we open the tap up again, it starts flowing. Now what we've got to do now is leave this to sit for 10 minutes to allow the purple line cleaner to do its job, come back, push some more through, and then we'll see whether it's flowing green still or whether it's flowing purple. Right, so the lines have been sat now for 10 minutes. I'm going to turn them on again, open this one up, see what we start getting through, run that through for a little bit, and we can see now that it is pouring perfectly purple. So we can shut that off now, and we can just go and change out the purple line cleaner for clean cold water, run that through so that we rinse all of the purple line cleaner out from the lines, and we're good to go to the next point. Right, so now the kegerator lines are clean, I can actually show you the thing that I wanted to talk about at the top of the video, which is how you can use the BevPump to serve still beverages through your kegerator taps. So we're talking things like white wine, some red wines, maybe sort of scrumpy style cider, kombucha, cold brew coffee, whatever it may be. This can work as a way to get it pouring out of the taps on your kegerator and just have that little bit of flexibility and something different for certain circumstances. Now, the best way to do this is to use a collapsible vessel of some sort. So a good old wine pouch. Now these come in a variety of different shapes, sizes and fashions. You know, you can get big ones like this that stand up. You can get them in boxes, obviously. You can also get the really big kind of like pin style ones that are kind of 20 litres if you really wanted to. But we do need to use another adapter to be able to connect this up to the BevPump so that they all work together and will serve directly. And that adapter is this. So this is the bag-in-box adapter that Kegland sell as well. It's got a really clever little adapter at the top here that hooks over the tap, compresses down, keeps the tap open, but also there's a seal in there so that it doesn't leak. And then it just goes to a little bit of beer line and onto one of the liquid disconnects, carbonation cap style disconnects from Kegland, so that you can hook that up to the beer line that you want to be serving your beverage from. So let's reset, get ourselves down here, get this all hooked up and show you how you can then pour from here, and you can see what delightful beverage I've got in this wine bag. Okay, so hooking up the bag-in-box adapter first and foremost is super simple. Just make sure that the adapter's in the open position, hook it over the tap, hold it in place, turn the little notch on the top, the little dial, and that depresses the button in the middle and the taps at the side, the tap handles at the side. That's now live, it can flow. We then take the line that's going into the bev pump and connect that on as well. And then open up our kegerator. Now, depending on what your kegerator setup at home is like, you could have the bev pump mounted on the inside, just bring it in through one of your gas line holes. You could have it mounted on the outside with the beer line or the liquid line going out and then back in. It's really up to you. But then all we then have to do is choose which tap we're going to flow through. So I want tap number 1. We need the coupler that we talked about earlier, the ball lock coupler. Hook that on and then hook that to the bev pump's out line, and that is now all live and ready to go. So if I turn the bev pump on, go and get myself a glass, I should be able to pour whatever's in this bag out. Right, so let's see if this works. Open up the tap, bev pump starts to flow, and there we can see I've got some lovely water in this pouch. It's been Christmas and, you know, New Year, so a little bit of water is probably a good thing for me. Now, like I said, you can see just how simple that is and how convenient it can be to have, like I said, that still beverage pouring through your kegerator with very little in the way of setup. But I think BevPump's got one other trick up its sleeve that I want to talk about now. So I'm going to have a bit of a reset and show you something where I think it could be really handy for a wide range of home brewers. Okay, so the next thing that I think BevPump could be really useful for is moving finished product from one vessel to another. Now that could be from transferring it from a fermenter into a keg ready to then go into your fridge ready to serve and get carbonated. It could be maybe from moving beer from a primary fermenter into a bright tank. I think there's a couple of reasons why this could really work, and the big benefit that I see here again is that ability to save on CO2 during some of these transferring processes. For some people it's just not feasible. Either they haven't got access to CO2 yet, but they still want to be able to move beer around their brewery in an oxygen-free way, or indeed they might want to just save on CO2 because they haven't got access to CO2 where they're brewing versus where they're serving. I think it could just be a really good way to do it. Now, you've got to remember that fermenters, when they're full, are quite heavy and bulky, and moving them around can be a bit of a pain, and jostling them, especially if it's an open top fermenter, you can introduce oxygen. So in my mind, transferring it with the fermenter in the position where it is into its vessel for dispense if you're into kegging just seems like a more practical way to do it. So I've got a couple of different fermenter options I want to show for this, but first and foremost I've got a Fermzilla here. Now you could do this in two ways. You could go and connect the BevPump's intake to the beer outline on the Fermzilla. That's absolutely fine. But actually what you could do, if you're into sort of like harvesting yeast, clearing trub and ending up with clear beer at the end, you could equally draw the clear beer out from the collection vessel at the bottom via one of the carbonation caps there, which is how I've got it set up here. So for purposes of this demonstration, all I'm going to do is turn the BevPump on, get the other disconnect line, put one of our couplers in there because that creates a through line, and so once the line's purged, you obviously disconnect the coupler. Now you've got a completely oxygen-free line full of beer that you can then start transferring into a keg. Now in my mind, it makes sense that you would have a sanitized and completely purged with CO2 keg, attach that to the beer out dip tube so you're filling straight from the bottom, and there you go. You'll be able to fill your kegs directly from your fermenters. So here you can see I've got one of the Grainfather GF30s. Now I love these fermenters. They're what I use at home, but they're not particularly easy to move around, and also getting access to the bottom of them is a little bit tricky. So racking beer out of them, you know, you can do a sort of semi-pressurized transfer on these, but you do lose a lot of CO2 because it escapes through the lid seal. So this is where I think that the BevPump could be really handy, certainly for me at home, because we can put the little John Guest elbow and screw-in piece on the tap adapter at the bottom, run some beer line into the BevPump, and then run that straight into a keg. Now I'm using an ox bar here, and I've got it already filled up quite a way because I want to show you that BevPump will continue to pump even if there's a lot of liquid in the vessel. So we'll open up the tap at the bottom of the Grainfather, and we will switch BevPump on. Again, just getting going, and it is now pumping liquid out of the grain father fermenter, straight into this ox bar here. Now, one other thing I just want to draw your attention to is because we've got the little mesh basket at the bottom here, we'd be able to see lots of bubbles coming through if we were getting oxygen, like air pickup throughout this. And you can't see that at all. There's nothing coming through there. Equally, if we close the PRV here, over the course of the next moment or two, the pressure's going to build up in there, and as if by magic, the bev pump switches off. Now, if I pull this open again and let the pressure out, it starts filling again. I'm pretty full there, so I don't want to take that any further, but you get the idea, and just see how it could be a really viable option for some people that maybe don't have access to pressure transfers, want to do like take a step up from just doing gravity transfers into their kegs from a fermenter like this or another kind of stainless steel fermenter. It's a really good option to be able to do those kind of transfers and limit oxygen pickup. So there we go, homebrewers, that's what we think are some of the most practical uses for the bev pump, but I'm sure it's not limited to just those. If you've already got one of these, I'd love to hear how you use it around your home brewery. So drop us a comment below. We'd love to see just how you use this in your setup. Now, as ever, if you've made it to the end of the video and you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and make sure that you hit the bell for notifications so you can stay up to date with all of our videos that we're doing over here at the Malt Miller. And of course, you can follow us on all our other social channels, and there's a link in the description below so you can sign up to our newsletter. Have a great brew.